That's exactly what they need. Time to welcome in college basketball analyst Chip Patterson with more on this. Hey, look, Chip, Bacot, of course, providing some bulletin board material. That's what you don't want if you're the coach on the other side. No hesitation there from him, saying he doesn't think they present a problem. Your reaction of the Bacot in those comments?
First, let's go with North Carolina Duke specifically, because in the meeting in Cameron Indoor Stadium, which North Carolina did win by double digits, they put Brady Manick on Paolo Banchero. Now, Brady Manick, very good three-point shooter, key piece of North Carolina's run, but the best defender in the ACC, I'll fall short of that. Paolo Banchero, obviously the most talented player in this Final Four and probably going to be a top 3 pick in the NBA draft. That was a mismatch, supposedly, but, Brady Manick did a good enough job. Bacot did admit that Paolo, when he's getting the ball on the perimeter and getting downhill, as he's been doing often in this NCAA tournament, very difficult to stop. But I will also say, finally, that North Carolina's defensive improvements. We know they've got flamethrowers on the perimeter, and R.J. Davis and Caleb Love. Armando Bacot is just a double-double machine, but it's been the defensive side of the ball in this NCAA tournament really since March 1st. Those improvements have really powered North Carolina's surge to the Final Four. So I'm going to say, number one, it goes back to the first meeting, and number two, it goes to the confidence that this North Carolina team has in their own defensive improvements.
I mean, it's just making more entertaining for us to see this game. That's all we want to hear. We want all the smoke to come that way in this matchup with them. How about your ultimate 2020 Final Four starting 5? Give me your point guard in this one. I know you've been working on this for a while.
Yeah, easiest decision at point guard. Very difficult later, but the 2-time Big East Player of the Year, we're talking about Villanova point guard Colin Gillespie. He is so important to everything that the Wildcats do, and now with the loss of Justin Moore, we know it's going to be even more important. He gets them in their flow of their offense. He's able to knock down the three-pointer when he has to, and really there have been a lot of great anecdotes from Jay Wright and the other Villanova players about how important he is as a leader on this team, the way that he's been able to keep this team focused. So many of these games have been tight somewhere in the second half, but Villanova has never trailed in the second half, and their ability to withstand that push from the opposition but pull away for a win, I think that the attitude that Colin Gillespie brings is a big part of it.
The unheralded star out of high school has now helped Villanova get back to the main stage of the Final Four and maybe on the cusp of another championship. What about the 2-guard for you?
It's a big 2-guard. I might be taking some flexibility here, but we're going with Ochai Agbaji. I mean, he's an All-American. He's the Big 12 Player of the Year. He is a knockdown three-point shooter and also a key perimeter defender. What he's able to do with his length has really helped Kansas become a strong defending team from the outside. Opponents are not really able to get into the flow of their offense with him being able to get out there, disrupt some of the passing lanes, and what he can do in the open floor. Kansas is a team, and this is interesting to watch in the Villanova matchup. Kansas likes to push the tempo. Villanova wants to slow it down. Think about those fast break buckets against Miami and how they helped turn the tide in that game. Ochai Agbaji, fantastic on the fast break. So he's going to give me 3-pointers. He's going to give me defense, and he's going to give me great transition play.
You mentioned 2 things there, 3-pointers and defense. Give me a 3-and-D guy who's also making the starting 5 for you.
How about one of the best three-point shooters in the entire country? How about A.J. Griffin from Duke? I mean, the guy is a 45.8% three-point shooter. That's top 20 in the nation. It is number 1 among all the players in the Final Four. And how about this? Among college basketball players with at least 150 three-point attempts, only one player from South Dakota State, Bailey Shireman, was even better. I mean, Griffin is just simply a sharpshooter from deep. He, at 6'6", does have the length to be the 3-and-D guy, but when you pitch me 3-and-D, I've got to go with the 3 here because he can also step up and make those stops like we see with the block right there, getting out in transition to Mark Williams.
ACC all-rookie team there for A.J. Griffin. How about a running mate he's already running with, is considered one of the best in the country?
Yeah, we're going with Paolo. I mean, don't get cute. Don't get cute about this. Paolo Banchero has been fantastic. And here's what's been exciting, because Armando Bacot, in his press availability, mentioned what it's like with Paolo going downhill, how it's very difficult to stop. Well, now you've got to guard Paolo a little bit closer on the perimeter, because in this NCAA tournament, so far he's played 4 games, but he's taken 15 3-pointers. He's hit 8 of them. He's hit more than half of his three-point attempts. He's throwing up a couple a game, which means that you've got to get a little bit closer. And with his ability to beat an opponent on the bounce, get to the rim and get to his spots, that is just making him look more and more unstoppable. If there is one player in this Final Four that can just go total takeover mode, it's Paolo Banchero.
He's done that up to this point. All right, let's go full circle here. The guy we started with, I don't know how you're going to pair him with Paolo, but I guess we're going with Bacot here?
Yeah, we're going with North Carolina's Armando Bacot. He's one of the best rebounders in the entire country. He's a walking double-double, riding a streak every single postseason game, ACC tournament or NCAA tournament. Armando Bacot laces up his sneakers, gets a double-double. And the one thing that I'll add for this particular matchup that'll be very interesting is the way that the offense is running, they're also allowing Bacot to be a little bit of a facilitator. He starts up at the top, he floats to the middle, they get him the ball, and then it's his choice of whether to attack the rim or try and feed Brady Manick, try and feed one of their three-point shooters on the outside. This has been really our connection to the throwback Roy Williams teams, because this is much more spread out. You know, Roy Williams would start two traditional bigs. Armando Bacot, traditional big, playing some more modern, untraditional roles under Hubert Davis and playing at an All-American level.
All right, he is Chip Patterson giving us that starting five for the Final Four. If you ask Armando Bacot, he has no problem with it, what we're seeing here from you. Appreciate it as always, CP. Don't forget, you can catch him on the Iowa College Basketball Podcast. Of course, Gary Parrish and others, along with Matt Norlander. They're in New Orleans. They're on the road. Final Four week. Why not? They will answer those questions. Also, is Villanova Blue Blood program, and we'll also preview with the Villanova, Kansas, and UNC Duke game. Don't want to miss it. Download and follow. The guys will be busy.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.